Good afternoon, GRAR members. This is Scott West, your 2025 GRAR president, and I am sitting here with one of our directors, Brittany Arraut,
Yes.
which I said properly, and I've been working really hard to make sure I never screw that up.
Thank you. Nailed it.
Thank you. Welcome, Brittany. You are in your first year here at GRAR as a director, not at GRAR, but as a director.
Yes.
You're 6 months in. Exciting. Give us a little bit of your background. Where'd you come from before you became a realtor, became whatever it is that you do?
Absolutely. I came from the healthcare field, so I went to college for occupational therapy. I did that for about 8 years. I always joke about why I got into real estate. I wanted a part-time job, right? I wanted something that I could be a little bit more flexible. I had young kids at the time. I wanted something that gave me a little bit more freedom. Obviously, that's not where I sit today. But I ended up making the switch for a family decision. I started selling real estate in December of 2018. So I'm just about 7 years in.
That's a nice, amount of time. You've certainly seen some changes in the industry in that window.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think I'll do anything else. I think this is absolutely what my calling is. Sometimes people comment on the change from healthcare to real estate sales, but I truly find that there is a strong link of connecting people with their home. It's a very emotional journey, connecting, helping people. It's right up my alley. So,
well, your passions go beyond just helping people buy and sell real estate. You also have another role at the company you work for. Tell us about that.
I do. So I serve as the Director of Training and Development for Bella Bay Realty. That encompasses all of our locations, so all 10 of them. I do things like run our company orientation. I handle the continuing education for our company, and I also train a majority, not all, but a majority of our newbies. So I train and mentor them on a weekly basis. We're doing group trainings, we're doing one-on-ones, all the things.
Is it safe to say you have a passion for education?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I absolutely have a passion for education, mentoring, leadership, helping others. That definitely fills something inside of me.
Yeah, I feel like we have a bond there because education's always been, sort of at the forefront of what I love doing as well. I served as a liaison for the education committee for a number of years. I was on the committee, I chaired the committee. So that was sort of my baby for a long time and really put a lot of energy and effort in there. And now you are the liaison of that committee. Tell us a little bit about what you guys are working on.
Yeah, so this is a big year for education. In addition to your regular yearly requirements for education, we also have the NAR Fair Housing requirements and the NAR Code of Ethics. So we have spent some time putting together educational events that meet all of those requirements for our members. Example, a couple months ago, we had the event where we had Trista in to speak. It was a full day. If you attended that, you were good for the year on those requirements. In addition, we have Pam and Julie who are going to be hosting 4 additional sessions to meet that NAR Code of Ethics requirement, which is always a really fun event. If you haven't had a chance to attend, they usually sell out. They're very energetic.
There's candy involved.
There is, but it's just a really fun way of meeting that requirement. So we're trying to put out some of those education events. We also have been revamping the pathways to professionalism, making sure that it's relevant to what we are seeing today in this industry.
Love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We actually just wrapped up our June monthly directors meeting. So this month, we had a number of topics that were on there. We're going to highlight a couple of them for you right here. The first one that we had our MR rep. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how that went?
Yeah, so we had an opportunity to meet with Mike Vanderwood, who is our MR rep here from GRAR. He had a lot of great things to say of things that are happening at the state level. He did mention that membership is down just a little bit in the state overall, nothing to be too concerned about. He also touched on the Leadership Academy that MR offers. He is a graduate of that. They are running it in this year in 25 as well. And one of our GRAR members, Mariah, is blessed to be a member there.
Yep.
Yes. And so they're going to plan on running that every 2 years. We also discussed that the Michigan Realtors Convention is going to be in Grand Rapids this year. So it's going to be October 8 to 10 at the Amway, and that's always a really great event as well.
Yeah, I go to that event every year, but it's extra special when it's in Grand Rapids.
Absolutely.
It's cool to show off this amazing city that we have, that we're all so passionate about, and feel like there's just a lot of cool things to do in Grand Rapids. So I love when the rest of the state gets to see how far this community has come. In addition to our MR rep coming in, a number of directors went to Washington, D.C. on behalf of GRAR, and we also brought our new Director of Advocacy and External Affairs, say that 3 times fast, Doug Merriam.
Yes.
We've spoke about Doug a few times on this video, announced that he was a new GRAR hire at the beginning of the year, and this was like the perfect opportunity to see Doug in his like most natural element at these legislative meetings. Doug was like a superstar there. Everywhere we went, people knew him. They were excited to see him. He's just got a lot of really, really long-lasting, deep relationships in that government affairs, legislative world and advocacy. For me, it was my first time going, and I was a little maybe regretful that I'd never been before, because I was blown away by all that NAR puts into our advocacy. I had no idea the reach that they have with our lawmakers, our politicians, how powerful their voice is in that space. We got to meet with a number of local lawmakers, legislators, and talk about some of the issues that are important to us as Realtors. So that was really neat. And the other thing that we got to do is we presented to NAR a proposal for a grant, and it was for $25,000. And this grant was presented by Doug on our behalf, and it was accepted. So we, as an association, are getting $25,000 to work with the city of Grand Rapids on promoting the changes they've made to ADUs. So that's really, really exciting for our efforts to increase supply in an area where we're really struggling with supply right now. So that was an exciting sort of takeaway from our meeting today. In addition, we talked about something that the AI task force has brought to us. Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So the AI task force has been doing some great work researching and doing some deep dives on tools on our behalf, and one of them that has come to the forefront is something called Blonde Waterfall.
Fun name.
Yeah. So that is going to be a tech resource that we're going to have available to GRAR members at a 20% discount. And what that tech tool is going to do is it's going to be able to take your still listing photos, put them together, and turn it into a walkthrough video, which is awesome.
And we're going to get that at, what's the discount? You said 20%?
That's right.
So just using the collective scale we have as a membership organization, we're able to give everybody that service at a discount. So when you go to plug that in, it just saves you that much more money. So I love that. You mentioned the state overall, the membership is down. We've been hearing that sort of projections for that to be like somewhere in the 5 to 6 range at a national level. Michigan as a whole is running a lot closer to flat in terms of membership numbers than the nation is, and GRAR is running even closer. I think we're only down about 5 members for the year, and we plan significantly less members just kind of based on inventory and all the things happening. So that's great news in terms of staying on budget. It's always something that we're keeping a close eye on. I also wanted to bring up a tool that we have here at GRAR that I think is a tremendous value add for our members that I hope most of them are using, but if not, just kind of a nice reminder. That's Forewarn. Do you use Forewarn?
I do. Yes.
Tell me a little bit about how you use it in your business.
So anytime that there is a lead or someone that is inquiring with me for my real estate services that I don't know, it's probably one of the first things that I'm going to make sure they are who they say they are, that they don't have any violent criminal activity that I might be uncomfortable with, or something that might indicate I need to bring a buddy, right? Yep. I think it's an incredible resource that we offer to our members. I encourage everybody to take advantage of that if you haven't already. Our industry isn't always safe. There are ways to protect yourself, and this is one of them.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's a really cool tool that GRAR offers. I think our safety committee brought that to us a number of years ago, and the more we get people using that, I think the better, the safer everybody's going to be. On that same front, it comes with a warning. You got to use it for the right reasons, right? You're not supposed to be looking up members, using it for looking up the general public.
Yes.
Things that it wasn't intended to.
Yeah.
And like any great tool, if you have a great tool and you abuse it, eventually it could get taken away. So let's just kind of stay vigilant on that and use it for the right reasons, because it's an awesome tool that we have.
Absolutely.
Around GRAR, we have a number of events coming up as we hit summer, and we're all busy at showing houses, but we have some things happening around GRAR.
Yeah.
One of the new changes that we've just launched, and you probably got an email on it and saw it in the newsletter, is we now have an actual sign up for our YPN membership.
Yes.
You were, before you became a director, the
Yes.
chair of the YPN last year, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
Tell us a little bit about why somebody should become a YPN member, why they should sign up for that, based on your past involvement with YPN.
Yeah, so I served on the YPN committee here at GRAR for 5 years, so I'm super passionate about becoming a member of YPN. For me, it was kind of an entry as I was brand new, like getting started, as a way to network, for one. Also, just to have conversations of what was happening in our industry in today. YPN offers some incredible networking, camaraderie, education is a big part of it too. The Wake Up with YPN series that they offer is typically a panel of top producers, people that have been around a while, that just are so encouraging and uplifting, and they really give their perspective. It's a very solid community of folks that are there to build you up in your business. YPN is not just for new members. Our slogan is that it is for new in the business, or I should say young. We're young in the business, young in age, and young at heart. So it really
Which is where I fall in.
Yeah, it really all encompasses everybody. Anybody who's looking to learn and grow and take an interest in real estate, YPN offers a lot of great opportunity for you to grow in that space.
When's the next YPN Wake Up, which is something I go to regularly? I love that one.
Yeah, I mentioned it. So Wake Up with YPN is an event. The next one is being held Thursday, June 19th. It is held at the Egypt Valley Country Club. It's free. There's no registration required. You just show up and enjoy.
And there's coffee and pastries and great speakers, great networking.
Yes.
And yeah, it's an awesome one.
Yes.
Another thing that we've been doing from the board of directors sort of perspective is offering an ambassadorship program. So we are meeting on the last Thursday of every month.
Yes.
And a couple directors are showing up in the GRAR lounge downstairs from where we are today.
Yes.
And why should a member show up to the ambassadorship program?
So a member should show up to the ambassadorship program if they are looking to talk about maybe a recent decision that the board made and they want to gain some understanding about how that came to be. They would also come if they're looking for maybe their own path to leadership and exploring what those opportunities might look like and what roles they could take on within GRAR, whether it's serving on one of our subcommittees or eventually becoming a director.
There you go. Hopefully everybody that's hearing this wants to come out on the 26th, which is our next one.
Yes.
9 to 10 a.m. There'll be a couple of directors hanging out in the lounge. Come, there's free coffee, great conversation.
Yeah.
Even if you just want to stop by and say hi, we would love to see you guys.
Yeah.
In addition to that, YPN has a volunteer day coming up. It's going to be in July. There's 2 shifts on July 22nd and 23rd. You can sign up and get all the details through the newsletter that GRAR puts out. And I just love how much, we talk about this almost every single one of these director videos, how much involvement our realtors are having in our communities and the impact that they're having.
Mm-hmm.
I think I gave a stat last time that like 70% of realtors are involved in giving back in their community versus like 1/3 of the United States is just a typical citizen. So I think there's 2 things that WCR wanted us to hint on. Give us Give us those.
Yeah, so we would love to invite you to the happy hour pop-up with WCR. They are being held 2 to 4 p.m. at the Ada Hotel, and that is happening the second Wednesday of every month, and that's happening now through the month of November. So if you are curious and getting involved with that organization, tons of great members with WCR. That would be a great opportunity for you to stop in and mix and mingle, right? Happy hour, see if it might be something that you're interested in joining.
Yeah, great. You're now 6 months into your time on the board.
Yeah.
In that
Time
6
flies.
months, time flies. It really does. 6 months into the board, do you have any takeaways? Anything that you were maybe hoping to get out of it? Give us some thoughts on your time on the board so far.
Absolutely. I initially joined the board to gain a greater understanding of some of the challenges and opportunities that face our industry. I think sitting at the table gives me an opportunity to be a part of those discussions and really impact change that's happening and raise the bar of professionalism. We talked about our shared love for education, and that hasn't really changed for me. Some insights is just truly how much work, planning, preparation goes in behind the scenes on the daily basis here at GRAR to function. It almost seems effortless, but when you sit here on the board and you really see all of the things that are being put into every decision that's made, there are times the board of directors sits around a table and healthily debates maybe a single line of something to make sure that it is truly being represented in a way that benefits everybody. Having everybody's opinions shared is something truly special that I'm very fortunate to be a part of.
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Well, we're really lucky to have you here at GRAR, and we've got you for a couple more years.
Thank you.
I wish I could be part of those couple years with you, but I just get just one quick year with you. But it's been a pleasure already having you. That is all we've got for you, GRAR members. We appreciate you tuning in. Look for us next month with another update. Thanks.
Thank you.